Hey everybody, Jack here with another video, and in this video I want to talk to you about the 5 key benefits of beginning a consistent email marketing practice with your non-existent or your growing list. And I'm going to start this with a story about when I first started building my list. I was on a separate marketing platform. I was running a WordPress blog. I had a different CRM for my email system. I had a shopping cart over here. I had tools all over the place, and having multiple children, having a day job, and everything else just piling up, I neglected my email list, and I would build it through offering value to them by putting out YouTube videos that would link them to an opt-in form that they'd be able to sign up and get a resource. And I provided good value. But the problem was, because I was overwhelmed with all the different pieces in my marketing stack, I never really took the time to broadcast or send emails to my growing list. And it had grown to just a few hundred people who signed up for this list. It wasn't a massive list by any stretch of the imagination, but what happened was they would get an incentive email whenever they'd opt in. I would deliver the goods that I promised to them, of course, and then the trail went cold. And months passed, and I thought maybe this isn't for me, because every passing day it became more difficult to even think about emailing those people. And I knew that just like that, they were forgetting about who I was and how we originally built that relationship, and I knew it was going down. So fast forward to today, and I've signed up with Kartra. I'm in my 2-week trial, my $1 trial with Kartra, and I'm having a blast. And I took that list from way back in the day. I still had permission to email them, but the problem was there was no relationship anymore. And so Kartra made it very easy for me to set up a broadcast. I sent out to them. I said, hey, I'm back. I'm so sorry for having been gone for so long. I'm looking forward to building that relationship that we started way back in the day. And if you'd like to hear from me again, click this button and I'll put you into a new tag, a new sequence where I'd be able to continue that relationship. I just wanted to see how many people would take me up in the offer and how many people had truly forgotten about me. So it all went good up until that point. The very next day, or I think it was a day or two after that, I got an email from Kartra's actual deliverability and compliance department. I didn't even know that was a thing. And it was very apparent what had happened. So I had a few people who marked me as spam because they didn't remember who I was. They don't remember signing up for that freebie months ago, and they felt like they were just getting unsolicited emails. That hurts, because that's not what I want to do. I also knew that because they're unsubscribing from that, it's hurting the deliverability rates for Kartra itself. And so naturally, they're going to try to defend their brand and their reputation online, and to make sure that the Googles of the world and all that see mail coming from Kartra.net as being good mail. So they want to make sure that all of their users are also having good practices and not trying to do anything that's below the bar, because that hurts not only the user, the people that are receiving that message, but also it hurts Kartra as a company and being able to keep up their brand. So even though this experience was not the best to go through, and it was a little bit of a shot to my ego that not 100% of these people opened that first email I finally decided to send and wanted to build a nurturing relationship with me, it's still a very good thing for everybody. And so it's a good thing for you if you're a Kartra user, because I have tested other tools. I won't bash them. I won't use their names on this video. But it was clear they did not have the same sort of spam protection, and they did not have the same net trying to cast spam-based emails, because even after the first week or so, most of the emails I had sent to a different list I was building with that other guy just to test, they were going to spam as well. I couldn't even receive emails I sent to myself. So it's important, if you're signing up for an email service provider, that they have very strong spam controls in place. And not only that, when I actually took that list from my previous CRM and was importing it into Kartra, I think they had a three-factor authentication process where I had to, configure my Facebook to make sure they knew I was a real person on Facebook, verify with the email address linked to the domain name that I collected those emails from in the first place, and thirdly, I had to put in my phone number to make sure that I had a phone, I guess. So the point being is that Kartra is taking security around their deliverability rates and around their email quality and the quality of the senders of their emails. They're taking it seriously, and that's because they're trying to, survive as a business and make this a long-term success. And if we are not successful as marketers, meaning if our messages don't get through, it hurts the brand. And if it hurts the brand, then the good marketers go away and find somebody else. So it's a win-win all around. But from that experience, it taught me the 5 5 lessons I'm going to share with you tonight about why having good, consistent email marketing practices is very important. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so number one is obviously emailing your list consistently and frequently. It builds a trust and a relationship, a two-way trust and relationship between yourself and your list. If you email them once in January, if they opt in on January, and you don't email them again until the next January or January 2 years later from then, there is no relationship there. You're basically going up to a stranger, and at that point, it really is an unsolicited email because you lost your chance to nurture and build a relationship with that person. Number two, it gives you more opportunities to offer products and ultimately make money from your list. So you never want to go into the list with simply the perspective of make money from them. You always want to be leading with value, making sure that you've built the relationship, the trust with them through just offering pure content, pure value that helps them with what they're trying to solve, whatever problems they're trying to solve in their life and in their business. And only as an afterthought, only after you've built up that goodwill and you truly know and have segmented your list to know what they need at that time from you, only then is it really right for you to be offering products for them to purchase, whether they be your own products, your own information products, your digital products, your physical products, or if it is to be an affiliate for a tool that you think and you know would be beneficial for them. So if all you do is email them when you have a new offer for them, if it's 2 weeks away and every 2 weeks you're offering them something new, they're going to know to not pay attention to your emails. They're going to know that you are just going to come to try to make money off of them and not to actually help them out. So what's in it for them to open up those emails? So by emailing consistently and always having valuable content to add to that person's life, and only if it makes sense, every 3, 4, 5 emails or so is spaced out in between those, you might offer a small little affiliate, kind of a soft sell, if you will, maybe an educational video sales letter, some way of offering value because you know through their actions, through them clicking on certain links, you know what they need and you know that it's the right time for them to have that thing. And that's how you build that successful relationship while still making money in the process. Third key benefit is it simply takes away the fear from hitting send. I never got my list off the ground. I built it through offering value, but I never got it off the ground in terms of having that two-way dialogue because I was simply petrified. I'm kind of a perfectionist by trade, being an engineer. I'm not the best with words, and I like to kind of sit down, do my analysis, whether I'm on the computer or just kind of with my wife. I'm an introvert. And so the idea about writing a message of my own knowledge, of my own advice that I can send to hundreds of people with a click of a button, it was a little bit shell-shocking for me. But if I had simply had the courage to hit send the first time, then the second time it would be easier, and the third time it'd be easier still. So simply by showing up every day, and this is one of the benefits of the list that I'm building right now, is there is a clear opportunity for me to email them every day and for it to be truly valuable content that they have the incentive to have a high open rate with. I won't share that in this video, but it's great to come up with your first business, your first online business, where you can really see the opportunity to have consistent content to share with them. If everything you do is sharing the last blog post you did or the next affiliate marketing opportunity that you did, you're always going to have a little bit of resistance because you kind of feel a little bit self-serving every time you hit that email. You need to find a way to add value to their lives and not always to be expecting something in return. You kind of have to make deposits into that goodwill basket for you to be able to withdraw from it later on. And what I'm doing with this list right now, it feels right. I don't feel skeezy or sleazy, or I don't feel like I'm always just trying to extract money from my audience. I'm really trying to give in to them and to help them take their businesses to the next level. Number 4 is it's just plain fun. And this goes along with number 1, where I have already, in the few weeks of me getting back on the horse of email marketing, not for gain, but simply for service to my audience, that I've really started to build a good relationship with some of the folks that I've emailed back and forth with. And in my emails, as I'm sending them out, I'm telling them, hey, I am not the expert here. I am developing just like you are developing in this specific niche. So go ahead and hit reply to this email and let me know what you think about the decision I made. I'm going through a process. We're all learning together, and I really want to extract the best practices, the best ideas from my audience, not only because that conversation is so valuable between myself and that person, but also because if I hear something great that I haven't thought about, all of a sudden there's a new blog post, or there's a new video I can cut, or there's simply another piece of snippet that I can put into a future broadcast, and even feature that person's name and kind of thank them publicly to my growing list, because then it's a virtuous cycle. Now the next person who reads that broadcast is like, oh, this guy is he's a real person, you know? It's kind of like a mini testimonial. It's a mini social proof that you're not there just talking to that one person trying to sell them, that you're showing that you're building a community, and that ultimately helps breed goodwill amongst yourself and your growing list. And fifth, you get better every time. Every time you hit publish, it gets easier, but also your content gets better. You know, the first time I wrote it, I would make typos. I'd correct them before I'd hit send, but I wasn't natural with it. I didn't feel like it would flow, and I couldn't find that state where I was just doing my craft and doing my work. But as it got better, I figured out a process. I learned how to duplicate broadcasts in Kartra that already had all the configuration done for me. I learned how to add tags dynamically and add points and everything else. And it's just really it got more enjoyable and more fun and more proficient as I went through from broadcast number 3, number 4, number 5. And I used to think that you had to have a specific time and date, you know, for every broadcast. It had to go out at 7 o'clock on Monday nights or whatever the case may be. But truly, if you are more real, if they see that it's a person talking to them, you know, you don't always get an email at the exact same time from your sister, you know, across the country or whatever. Like, it happens when it happens. And I think that the more you can become a real friend, a real peer, not a marketing person online, the better success you can have as you're growing your business. As it scales, you may need to adjust your approach to make sure that you don't get too much engagement. For example, in my wife's business that I help her out with significantly, you know, she's at the point where she has to actually remove some engaging questions that she has in the emails she sends out, because if she didn't, her, you know, list of 30,000 plus would just keep her busy all day long, and she wouldn't be able to actually make progress and forward motion in her business. So you have to kind of go with the times and roll with it, but you'd have to have fun with it. If you enjoy it, if you can really feel yourself serving others, the email marketing game will get easier. You'll have more momentum on your side when you're building your list. And if you create good content for your audience, they are going to be more likely to share your content with others because they want them to have that good experience too. Think about it. What were the last things that you shared either on social media or just with your friends and family through word of mouth? It probably wasn't that marketing message that was so hard selling that you just felt slimy and you had to take a bath after you read it, right? It was something that really helped you solve your problem, and it's a problem that you know your friends also have that they need help solving too. So be that person. Do that in your emails. Don't always think about yourself in the end game. If you figure out a way that you can be selfless in your giving, then you will be given back to in return at a later date. Don't live your life so short term and so short natured that you have to make the money today. You have to make the money today. That's when you get into those get rich quick schemes, which I'm telling you, it's not the way you want to live your life. You can go in it and, you know, if the getting's good, you can try that, but I guarantee you, you're not going to make it long term in that game because they're not there to be a long-term solution. If that's what you want, that's fine. If you're always hopping to the next ship, go for it. But for me, I want to build a long-term business that I can do with my wife, with my kids, while I'm, you know, here at my house, just living a normal life, but really serving my community. So that's all I have for you tonight. I kind of got a little bit waxing philosophical with you. I hope that was okay. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. I'll be getting into more tactical videos showing you all the tips and tricks that I'm developing as I'm learning the Kartra system. And I'll tell you, I'm having a great time with it. So go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the little bell there in the corner as well, so you'll be notified as soon as a new video is ready to come out. All right, guys, take care.